Sure. The question was, how can you make your practice time more efficient on heavy work days, right? I'll go first. It's sometimes it's difficult because obviously on concert days you don't want to just like bang out practicing for 2 hours. So I really, our days off from the orchestra are really like, I look forward to them because I can actually practice. You know, I mean, I'm lucky sometimes if, you know, on a day of a concert, I do an hour of personal practice because I want to be fresh for the concert, obviously, but I have to be, you have to practice what you're not good at. And that, like, start there. And then if you have time, you can kind of go through, you know, what you can already do, just as a way of reviewing music or reviewing a repertoire or whatever. But that's, I mean, even now, you know, for all of you, just practice what you're not good at. I mean, if you can double tongue up and down, no problem, well then don't practice double tongue. I mean, review it, but don't practice it. I mean, but if you can't do lip slurs, or if you don't have a great high C, that's what you need to practice. And so efficiency in practicing for me is practicing what I can't do or what I am not as good at.
For me, to try and keep myself balanced, it's really important after a show to get a good warm down, or after a rehearsal to get a really good warm down, so that the next day I feel fresh and I'm not starting from negative because last night I didn't warm down, you know, and now I have to play more in the morning so that I can recoup what I lost last night. But it's, you know, I find it's important if you've got a lot on your plate. You know, my dad always said, set them up, knock them down. I mean, you just got to do one thing at a time. You know, that's all you can do. You can practice the next thing that you're doing, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Sorry, I'll pass it on to you. I'm still thinking, sorry.
Our side comment here was that's a very mature question.
Yeah.
That's a very responsible question, and to be thinking like that, everybody, like the sooner you can get that way, the better. What I would say to you is this: it's my job. It's the most important thing. So I will sacrifice what I need to do practicing to sound good on the job, and then take care of it on my quote-unquote own time. You have to sound good at your job. That has to be your priority. That should be your focus. Maybe you have something else coming up, and like, let's take this. We all have stuff going on. This is ancillary to our normal life, to be here and to knock down these crazy solos. This is augmenting what we do. This is not the priority, and yet we really want to sound good, right? It's very tough, and that's why it's an incredibly mature question and deserves a lot of thought, and it's not something I even considered until I was in a professional position. They hire you, they pay you to sound a certain way. You need to do that. And sometimes that means you don't have time. And sometimes that means, like she's saying, you knock them down, but you do it in a very organized, methodical fashion. You prioritize. And you get better at it. I'm sure we've all now got it. We don't even think about it. But there were times where I had to really organize. Hey, I got this thing coming up. Is that what's most important? No, because if I sound terrible on this thing in 2 nights, that's going to be worse. And that's the quote-unquote adult life.
Yeah, just really good stuff here. Just to dovetail, a great example is preparing the solos for this recital. You know, with the orchestra, we're playing a lot. We're going through a lot of repertoire. I mean, we had 4 concerts last week. And so, you know, just like I had to be really efficient in working on this. I mean, it was a solo I played before, but I felt dedicated to, you know, wanting to get it to work. And, you know, I mean, just, you know, with all the other stuff, I had to be efficient and, you know, just go through it. So, yeah, I mean, at least for me.
I was going to say, if it means that you have to get up earlier and go to bed earlier, I mean, you got to do that. You know, that's just what it takes at a certain point. For me, I don't play that much B-flat trumpet, and the solo that I chose is B-flat trumpet. So I had to have an entire morning session of just B-flat trumpet so that I can be good enough to really get all over that horn when I have to play it today. So that was my morning session. I would have lunch, take my dog out for a walk, and then I would start my afternoon, which was excerpt preparation and recording myself. And then at night, it was preparing for this thing that I have to do next week. So I had 3 sessions, that were methodically put in my day, and everything else kind of had to go around that. I had to buy nylons this morning because I didn't have time to buy nylons at home. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. But no, but we love it. That's why, and that's why it's okay, But I mean, this all aside, there's also real life, and you do have to enjoy your real life, right? I mean, I still love going hiking. I still love bringing my dog to the park, and seeing my friends. But yeah, it is a huge balancing thing when it comes to priorities, and you will figure it out once you figure out what's most important to you.